Shalom Yasharallah. My name is Officer Ahsap of Dela Design Day County under Chief Priest Kahan and Chief Minister Shalomah. And today's Wednesday Wisdom is talking about what is temptation. When you get into this truth, temptation, you find out that it's more than just a group of singers. Temptation is the precursor before sin. Temptation is the test, is a test, is a proving of one's integrity when it comes to walking in this truth, truly walking in this truth, right? So without further ado, let's get into the class. The first scripture we're going to bring out is a scripture that we always bring out in the beginning of our classes. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the other one Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Abba by Him. So everything we do, everything we say, we're going to keep in mind the reputation of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai and giving thanks to the Most High because He gave us His truth, right? It's a privilege to have this truth. So we make sure we give our due respects to the Most High and His Son, right? So the first scripture I want to bring out is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right? So like I said, when you first come into this truth, life is going to get harder. Why? Because in order to keep the commandments, it takes a certain level of self-control in order to keep them, right? Especially when it comes to temptation, because temptation is all around you. When you find out pork is off, that billboard of that Baconator or that bacon wrapped shrimp is going to be that 10 times brighter than it was before. You're going to be driving, you're going to see that billboard, you're going to be like, yo, I never noticed it being that bright. It's going to be that much brighter because that temptation is there now, right? You're going to have flashbacks of when you used to buzz down on them pork chops. But now that you come into this truth, you find out that, according to Leviticus 11:7, the swine is off, it's unclean, right? So temptation is going to be an ongoing thing. So let's start off with reading some of the definitions of temptation. This is temptation in the Hebrew, right? It's pronounced mesa or masa, means to despair, to test, despair, a testing, proving, trial, right? So let's get into Greek also. In the Greek is perasmos, right? And it means an experiment, attempt, trial, proving, right? Another definition is the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy, right? So when you find yourself, in temptation, it's trying your fidelity, your faith. It's trying your integrity, right? When you say something, oh, I'm gonna stop drinking for a year. That temptation gonna be 20 minutes later, someone gonna call you up. Yo, I got that pure white. I got that Don Julio. What's good? Let's turn up. Right. And you probably, if you are an avid drinker, that will sound tempting to want to pull up. But you just said, oh, let me just take a year off. These are the trials that one goes through, right? But we're gonna get into more serious temptation because we do find it in the law. So first scripture I want to bring out is Leviticus 20 and verse 10. And it reads, And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Now, where does temptation fall in this law? Temptation comes when the man sees the woman, desires the woman, sees the woman as very attractive, right? Now, as a man of the Most High, you're gonna find out, is this woman married? You know, what's her situation? But then you find out that she is married. So now you have two choices. Is either you cut it from right there, hit it with that shalom sis, and keep it moving, or you fall into the temptation of wanting to pursue her because of her beauty, right? Because of your desire, right? And from that point, once you fall into that temptation, once you fall into that lust at this point, if it comes down to you of both parties committing a sexual act, now you've committed adultery, and we all know what the wages of sin is death, right? So that's one example of temptation, you know, being interwoven within the law, right? So let's get another law, right? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. And it reads, "There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel." Right? So to be a whore of a daughter of Israel is for a woman to be having sexual intercourse or any kind of sexual act with multiple men, not taking one man as their husband, right? They're playing the whore. Now, as men, we do that when we pursue a woman that we're attractive to, have sexual relation with them, and don't take them on to be our wives, right? And this type of thing happens all the time in the world, right? This happened when we was in the world. When I was in the world, I'll see a woman very attractive, and I'm only thinking one thing, right? But when I came out of this world and I learned the true purpose of our daughters and our women, our true purpose as men of the Most High, right? I cut that out, man. That temptation is no longer is no longer in me, right? I see what the purpose of the family unit consists of, right? So this law, not making a whore of the daughters of Israel, is very important, right? Because you see that all the time in society. You see the television and social media pushing our women to be whores, to act like whores, right? And we as men, we what's the word? We condone these things. We cheer these things on, right? Because we know what comes with it, right? So let me bring out another scripture. Bring out another scripture. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 18. And it reads, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body." Right? So actually, let me go back to that definition of temptation. Salakia. Right? Right here. It says, "An enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires, which is internal, or from the outward circumstances." Right? So when you read that First Corinthians, you sin against your own flesh because that came out of your own desire, your own flesh, right? And here it talks about or from the outward circumstances, right? You may in your mind be self-controlled with your thoughts of fornication or the different temptations that may arise, right? But you may walk out the house and boom, temptation is right there in front of you, right? And temptation doesn't have to be sexual solely. There's other forms of temptation. We're going to get into that right now, right? Let's go to Matthew. Let's go to Matthew 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. Now here is the devil, Shaitan, tempting Yahushua, knowing that he's hungry, that he's been fasting, right, for 40 days and 40 nights. He's within his fast. So right now, he's not going to break it, but he's being tempted with what? With food, right? Temptation can come in the form of food, right? And not just unclean foods. You can be on a specific diet and you tell yourself, you know what? I'm not going to be eating carbs. Next thing you know, you go to a new moon and you see all kinds of pasta, all kinds of rice, cake, cookies, and it's like, let me just get one little scrape of the macaroni. Let me get this half a cookie. You just said you're not going to have no kind of carbs. You just failed the test. You failed the test of the temptation. But here we have an example of Yahushua, right? Let's see how he handles this situation. Verse 3, and when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. So he hit him with a scripture, right? He hit him with a scripture because this word is really our defense, right? But let's continue. Let's see let's continue on the temptation that he encountered. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. And Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power. Now Shaitan, he hit Yahushua with a scripture. Okay, if you're the Son of God, jump down and the angel is going to catch you, because according to the scriptures, you have charge over them. So they will save you, right? He tried to play the Yahushua's pride, the fact that he is the Son of God, right? Knowing that this is true. But what did Yahushua say? Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power, right? Because he knows he is the Son of the Most High, but he doesn't have to do that just to prove it that he's the Son of the Most High, right? Let's keep reading. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Shaitan is crazy, man. That man is crazy. Then saith Yahushua unto him, Get thee thence, Shaitan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Right? Shaitan is crazy for even saying that to Yahushua, but Yahushua, what did he do? He kept his composure, told him, Get out of my face, because it is written in the word that thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only thou shalt serve. Right? So he used the Most High's words to overcome the temptation. And that's what we have to do during this walk. We have to keep the word of the Most High in our minds constantly, day and night, so we can be able to battle this temptation, right? This is why we wear fringes, to look upon them, right? To look upon them, to remember the commandments. So when that temptation come, all you gotta do is look down. Okay, yeah. I don't need to be doing that, right? I'm gonna be going off, right? So let's prove that, right? Because the Most High's word, is really truly a defense. All right, let's get Proverbs. Proverbs 30 and verse 5. And it reads, every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Right? The Most High's word is a defense. Right? Let's get another scripture. The Most High's word is a defense. And you've seen that perfectly of how the Yahweh Shai handled Shaitan. Right? Let's get Ephesians 6:17. And it reads, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So the word of the Most High is not only a shield, it's a helmet, a sword, right? All these things, because we don't battle against flesh and blood. We battle against principalities, right? Right? Our battle is deeper than just what we see, right? Because we trying to obtain the kingdom, and with that, is gonna come hardship, right? It's gonna come hardship, but all praise to the Most High. Although we go through these temptations that at the moment is difficult to overcome, right? The Most High is faithful, right? This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. So everything that has tempted man has tested man's integrity, is been tested on men before us, is being tested on men and women now, and is going to be tested on men and women in the future, right? And it reads, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape. He's going to give you a way to escape. So when you see them cookies, when you see that mac and cheese, the door is right there. And guess what? There may be not even the door. There may be a salad right next to the cookies, right? Well, what's something else that's not carbs? There might be some salmon next to the mac and cheese, right? He's gonna give you a certain way to escape the temptation. You just got to take heed to it, right? And guess what? You will pass the test, that ye may be able to bear it, right? He won't give you something. He won't tempt you with something that is above your strength, right? So let's go back to Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation, because in this walk we're going to be tempted, right? Let me actually end off with one more scripture. 1 Corinthians 10. Salakia. It's 1 Corinthians 15. Salakia. It's 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 57. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Adawan, Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High. And with that, I say Shalom Yasharallah. My name is Officer Amawan. My name is Officer Ahsap, of Bila Design Day County under Chief Priest Khan and Chief Minister Shalom. And with that, I say Shalom.